I mean, they brought that barrier of people using the reward for the first time, right? So many organizations, many QSRs may have their application, and people could use them even to register and to actually make some purchases. But then at the end of the day, the most important is for those either points, coupons, whatever they are, to be redeemed, right? Because otherwise, the mechanisms that you are actually implementing are not really working. What's very relevant in QSRs is also that the application is not like an additional tool, is the whole ecosystem, right? So you avoid any sort of friction. You make it easy for the customer to get what they want, and then basically you are just driving this, like this need for speed somehow, like you're just making it super easy and fast. Yeah, this is a tricky one because I assume just by the name, everybody will think that QSR should aim for, perhaps even doubling like to have a two times the order value they currently have, but it's really hard to get there. I will say, like, you should aim for, getting some additional revenue.
First of all, I wanted to say hello and thank you so much for joining us live, to all of you in the audience who have done so. Cool. So this video is going to be about quick service restaurants. So it's going to be a deep dive. And we have an awesome guest. We have Christian Mendoza, who is Senior Account Executive at Open Loyalty and is specializing in the QSR industry. Hi, Christian. Great to have you.
Hi, Eric. Thanks for having me. Well, it's great that today we can talk about QSR, which is very special. We are going to talk a little bit about programs like one of McDonald's rewards, that actually work pretty well, and how mechanics such as, let's say, personalization, streaks, a little bit of gamification can actually shape the behavior of clients, right? In an industry that is in which main characteristics are a very high frequency but very low value.
Yeah, and I believe that the competition is pretty fierce. Usually, if we think about any formal customer loyalty programs and specific designs, I believe that the majority of us automatically thinks of a sort of like a brand that is offering food or beverage on the go. So absolutely, this is the industry that we are going to focus on today. I just wanted to mention that if you have any questions to us during our conversation, or if you have any comments or you would like to share anything, please use the chat. I will make sure that all the questions get answered. So let's try to do it as much as interactive as possible. Awesome. Yeah. So we wanted to start off with a, let's say, a bit of like a big picture. You already mentioned that the main characteristic of this industry is actually the sort of like a low value of the order. And in order to make up for it, we are designing for high frequency, right? So we would like people to visit us as frequently as possible. And we wanted to start with a few examples from the market, from the industry. What example have you brought to the table?
Well, basically, I would like to talk about McDonald's, and particularly in the US. For them, everything is about using the application and the ecosystem. You go to a QSR, you can just enter, you can order, or you can go through the drive-through basically and just order something without even using an application, just ordering anything. And that's actually where McDonald's and many other QSRs were just, leaving, I would say, some money on the table because they don't have access to data of those clients. So now they have actually transferred those coupons that were generally offered to everyone just to people who have the application, right? And for instance, if you happen to register, as you register and you make your first order that is above $1, then you just get free French fries, right? So
Cool.
yeah, the
So
idea
that's
is for
going to be
them to
the immediate reward, yeah, something that you basically, this is the incentive to download the app.
Yeah, but then of course, people have to continue using the app. They will get coupons, so that will become. I mean, they broke that barrier of people using the reward for the first time, right? So many organizations, many QSRs may have their application, and people could use them even to register and to actually make some purchases. But then at the end of the day, the most important is for those either points, coupons, whatever they are, to be redeemed, right? Because otherwise, the mechanisms that you are actually implementing are not really working, right? In the case of McDonald's, particularly, I will say that there is something very important in the points they actually give clients whenever they purchase something, which is fast earning, fast burning, right? So in that case, what they are trying to do is incentivize clients to visit more often. This is not like, buying shoes or electronics, which, you buy every now and then. This is basically buying food you eat every day. Perhaps not every day McDonald's or any other QSR, but actually the idea is to give you, I mean, to take you there more often, right? To also how to say, to have a little bit more a higher stomach part of the, I mean, stomach,
Yeah,
right?
gotcha.
Of yourself. So yeah.
Very often, yeah, as you're saying, that it might be, let's say, a spontaneous decision, right? So here the goal would be also to remind you about the, let's say, location that is near you. So whenever you feel like, well, okay, I'm ready for lunch, or let's say I would, like to eat something, not necessarily like a dinner, but even something small, right? So that would be probably one of the incentive, or actually the ideas for the design of a program, that okay, we're here for you whenever you like feel that okay, this is the moment to eat something even small, right? You can come in, and the rewards that you've mentioned, that for example, for those of you only need to download the app, and then immediately you are eligible for, let's say, like free fries, right? So this is something you can redeem very quickly.
Yeah, and the important thing here is that, I mean, what the word, the phrase I was trying to look for was share of stomach, right? So how much of this you get from people, right? And this is very important, mostly in cases where QSR is very characteristics for. This is more of a on the go decision. Basically, you're going through, you're driving through, I don't know, the highway, you are actually going through the city, and you happily suddenly happen to actually want something from there. This is something that you usually do not plan, right? You are just hungry, you want to get something to eat, or you just have a craving, perhaps, right? I can tell you, like, my girlfriend, for instance, she owns a dance studio nearby. And on the way back home, we usually, pass by McDonald's, and it's kind of become a tradition. Like every Thursday, like she's so tired, and she kind of, as soon as she sees this McDonald's, she craves for it, right? She uses the application. So basically, we go, we scan the coupons that are personalized to her, like to what she really likes. Then she has some fries for a special price, perhaps. But then suddenly it's like it's dinner time. So, right, maybe why not ordering something else? And suddenly I'm next to her, and it's like, Christian, do you want something? Right? So you just imagine we go there probably once every 2 weeks. But just imagine if they actually had the data of at what time we're actually going, and 1 hour later, like half an hour earlier, they will actually that she will have a push notification appear on her phone, and then basically just trying to trigger that, right? So
Sure.
yeah.
Like to even be there, let's say, shape the experience together, right? So based on the fact that it's Thursday, so like every week on Thursday, as you're saying, it might be a sort of like a certain trigger that, hey, you visited us, let's say, last week and the week before, so we're waiting for you, right? Because it's Thursday, it's your it's your day.
Yeah, it's your fries time, basically. Yeah, she was super happy with that for sure.
Yeah. Oh, this is, by the way, very inspiring, I would say, idea on how to use personalization and to create those personalized experience that trigger some positive emotions. Awesome. Cool. So the one program that I wanted to introduce is Starbucks Rewards, because this is another famous common brand. It's obviously operating in the US, but it's also very popular in Europe. It is also popular in Poland, where we are based. Those programs might be different depending on the market. I will say a few words about the one that is available in the US. So first of all, it is a similar program that you have mentioned, that the goal would be to create this fast earn and burn. So once you download the app, as a user, you get certain amount of points, and then it's pretty quick for you to be able to customize your drink. So the first thing you can do is actually maybe add a shot of espresso to your coffee if you would like to have it stronger, or maybe you would like to have a dash of your favorite flavor syrup. So this is the first thing that you can get. Basically, the mechanics is that you earn points for every purchase, and depending on, for example, if you prepay your app, then if you use your app for a payment, you get bonus points, you get extra points. So this is also interesting mechanic, that depending on the way you want to pay for your drink, you might have even like the double points. That's kind of cool. Obviously, Starbucks also offers drinks, something to eat, but also they have merchandise, so you have quite a wide range of rewards. So this is also interesting, because it will definitely be interesting for larger group of people. And if you don't need, let's say, an extra drink or like a double shot of espresso, you can work towards something like a mug, right? Or maybe even beans to basically brew your own coffee at home. And one of the things that I wanted to mention is the fact that you can actually order ahead. So this is super cool, because once you get the app, and I would say that for me at least, that would be one of the top reasons to actually download the app and be using it regularly, because you can pre-order and then basically go to the location that you of your choice and pick it up. So all you need to do is choose the beverage or anything you want to buy. You pay for it. You give your name, because this is the tradition at Starbucks, right? And then once you visit the physical location, this drink or anything else you just ordered is just waiting for you. So this is cool, because it saves time, especially for people who commute to work, right? It might be really convenient just to be able to pick it up, instead of like waiting in line and perhaps waiting for the drink to be made on the spot. So that would be. Mm-hmm.
That's great, Direk. Like this is totally frictionless, right? I mean, if you can just do this on the go, like what are you doing while commuting? You're not doing much. So just order coffee, pass by and take it to your office.
Yeah. And also I think that it gives you this chance to also, let's say, further personalize, right? Because basically, if you use the app, everything is visible. So then the company knows more about your preferences, and then you have opportunity to communicate before, right? Yeah. So for example, last, as you've mentioned, the Thursday with your girlfriend, right? So let's say that you had this app, so that would be so awesome if they just triggered it. Hey, do you want to visit us? Here's the more convenient way to do it, right? You can pay, and then everything will be waiting for you at this time where you usually visit us. So many opportunities here. Cool. If you could give us a big picture and present a few like unique characteristics of the quick service restaurant industry.
All right. So I would say the focus is on frequency, not just like spend, right? So for instance, as I said, you're trying to get a share of the stomach of your clients. Let's say during 2 months, you are visiting 10 QSRs, basically, right? But you're visiting different QSRs. So you're trying to get a little bit more of the stomach, the share of the stomach of these clients. So while you take some visits from others QSRs to yours, that actually is great. What you're trying to build is some sort of a habit, some sort of predictability, basically, in terms of the visits. So yeah, I mean that's one of the cases. The other one is personalization, because you really need to be very specific with who you are targeting and how you are targeting, right? And what actually you're asking from that person is different to target somebody who visits you 2 times every month than somebody who visits you 7 times every month, right? And it's different to target somebody who has some specific preferences, like some chicken rather than a beef burger, right? So you just have to adjust that as well. Yeah, that I will say this is another important thing. What's very relevant in QSRs is also that the application is not like an additional tool, is the whole ecosystem, right? So you avoid any sort of friction. You make it easy for the customer to get what they want, and then basically you are just driving this, like this need for speed somehow, like you're just making it super easy and fast. And the next one will be like, this is something that has been very popular and effective recently, is gamification, right? Which is something that it is not strategy, but it has to be an important part of a strategy. So you implement it in the right specific moments when they are needed. This is something that it should be implemented for a short period of time, right? But anyways, that helps you, let's say, in different moments. So for instance, if you have different promotion windows, when you actually when you launch the promotion at the very beginning, you want to boost, right, the promo, right? Or whenever you know that you will have some sort of sales, let's say, reduction, a decrease, basically for some specific period of time, then that's actually when you want to use it as well, right? Or when you have special offers, you want to add a little bit of a different flavor there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely. So gamification, I've been like discussing it with several customers already, and I see that it's like there are more and more contexts where you could use it properly, and definitely here when you've mentioned that one of the, let's say, key characteristics is the need to build this habit and going for frequency. So yeah, I've seen that those gamified mechanics or gamification mechanics can really like help with like building those habits and creating this situation where, okay, now I have a, let's say, context of a challenge sometimes to actually visit the place several times, and then, for example, pick a reward because then I've achieved, or I'm eligible. Cool. Awesome. So I would say that those 4 characteristic that you've mentioned are definitely worth remembering. So for anyone who is designing a program, that would be the key elements of, let's say, the basic design. And there are also like a few challenges, and we have selected 3 of them, like the main ones, because probably definitely there are more than 3, but these would be, let's say, the top of on the list. One is the lack of repeat purchases, right? So it's like you've said, sometimes it's very spontaneous, right? You are driving somewhere and then you see, oh, there's the McDonald's restaurant and I'm a bit hungry. Let's go. But I haven't planned it before, right? It is absolutely spontaneous, and this challenge might be addressed with a few things. One is definitely the sort of like the immediate reward. So something that, let's say that you have visited the restaurant and you decided to download the app, because that would be something like one of the key steps, right? If we think about customer loyalty that is working, first of all, we need to make sure that customers understand the value of the app. Because downloading an app just for the sake of having the another icon on a phone, not really convincing. But you've already said that if I understand why exactly it would be beneficial for me to get the app and be a member, boom, suddenly just like me on the way to build like a more frequent and more solid relationship with the brand. And then once I've made my first purchase, it would be definitely a good idea to get something that is easily attainable. So if I know that when I visit, let's say, your restaurant the second time, I'm going to get 50% off for the coffee, it will definitely increase the chance of me coming back pretty soon, because I remember about that, right? It's quite fresh. It is quite some exciting. So definitely that would be it. And another thing for the repeat purchases is related to what you've said about gamification. Like this building a habit component is a very important thing. So, for example, from the point of view of the mechanics that we offer and we play with, that might be a streak with a badge. So let's imagine that I really like the context that you've shared, that you coming with your girlfriend after the dance classes, right? It's Thursday, and you've visited the restaurant, let's say, once, and then the next week, and then there was like a break, and then another Thursday you come again. So based on this data, you could figure out quickly like a challenge. Hey, if you visit us, let's say 4 Thursdays a month, right? There's going to be something special for you. So you get the badge, you let's say complete the whole month. And then I think that this is cool for at least 2 reasons. One is that you can use a badge as a way to segment the audience. So let's say that obviously there's going to be people who like the idea and they will participate, and there will be people who not necessarily see the value in it, right? But if you have this instant way of assigning a badge to people who regularly participate in your challenges, then automatically you have this segment of your most engaged members, those members who are actually really willing to be a part of the whole program and maybe test some other incentives.
Gamification is not for everyone, right? I mean, it won't work on each and every of your loyalty members, right? But it will work on probably the most loyal or the ones who interact the most with the application or with the brand in general, because it could be also online. Different brands could use different channels as well for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So you need to be quite, careful about that, but still, this is something to test out for sure. And also another element that I thought of is, let's say that you have peak hours. So for sure, you have, let's say, this moment, especially before work. I see it on the streets that if you, for example, go somewhere at 6 o'clock, you don't see a lot of people around you, right? But at 7, between, let's say, 7 and 8, there's like a lot of people suddenly everywhere, and then people are queuing everywhere because they want to grab something before work, and so on and so forth. So perhaps you could use the member experience in such a way that you actually reward people who come in early before the peak hours or just after. So in this way, it might help you with the frequency, because something that I've seen is like, people enter let's say they go into a coffee shop, they see that there are like 5 people in a line, and they have no time because they know that they have, let's say, 10 minutes, and if they wait for the coffee, they are going to be late. So this is also something you could try to incorporate, that this goes with the repeat purchase, because, for example, you can have a early bird challenge where people who visit the store between 6 and 7 o'clock, let's say that they get double points or something like that, right? But suddenly this is a win-win situation, because those members who really appreciate your offer will be there, and also you will have more time within the peak hours to basically sell more and make more business. So that's going to be, let's say, my sort of like a tip how to address the lack of repeat purchases. The second challenge was the low average order value. How about this one?
Yeah, this is a tricky one, because I assume just by the name, everybody will think that QSR should aim for, perhaps even doubling like to have a two times the order value they currently have, but it's really hard to get there. I will say, like, you should aim for getting some additional revenue, something that is also not financially I will say draining for clients. It will be more acceptable, let's say. Something that's small, something that actually really adds something special or value to the order that the client is making. So actually, this should be relevant as well, right? So let's say if you go to QSR, you already know what you want. You're going for the fries, you're going for the burger, you're going for a meal. But you don't know what else you want. You don't know what drink do you want. You don't know if you maybe want any sort of dessert, like a cookie, right? So in some cases, what you can offer is some complementary items that perhaps, if you are quite engaged with the loyalty program, then you understand that this may offer you more than the usual points that other products offer, right, or give you. So yeah, it's very hard to think or to even try to get 2 times the average order value. But if you aim for 10-20%, that's actually already something, right? And another thing that you could actually implement this is by offering ways to sort of pimp your order, right? So if you go to Starbucks, you add an extra shot of espresso, you add some extra syrup. If you go to McDonald's, you add extra cheese or some sort of premium toppings, basically, right? It's still the same product. You're just adding something else on top of it that makes it more special, perhaps liked by you. But then those additional products usually have a much higher margin than the main one, right? So it has this sort of effect. Okay, it gives me like 20% more revenue, but at the same time, this product gives me a much higher profitability than the main product, right? So yeah, that's the case. Another way you can do this is perhaps introducing some new products for bonus points, basically, or with some additional product bonus points. As I mentioned at the beginning, you just add some. It's just not a traditional cookie. In this case, it's just the new beverage, perhaps, that you're offering. But then suddenly this gives you 2 times the number of points that regular standard beverage gives you, right? And one interesting thing that I have seen just recently is that QSRs are targeting quite a lot families, right? So if you go to these sort of QSRs every now and then, but then suddenly on the weekend you're with your family, you're with your kids, and then yeah, I mean it is for you probably it is easier to take them there for different reasons. One of them is that everybody can pick whatever they want and everything is similar, standard. You know that they will like it already. And at the same time, you can have some sort of a hook to take them there, right? So, for instance, you could offer these. You have those Happy Meals that have those so cherished toys by kids, right? So you know your kids will like them as well. So you probably want just to keep them entertained and happy during that weekend. So why not taking them there? They know that their friends have them, so why not actually just being ahead of that somehow? So that that gives you a few reasons of you know to take your kids to just don't go on your own, to actually have these sort of larger meals and order value, average order value, basically. I was really surprised last weekend. We had I mean, the school organized a party basically for Christmas, and we were on the way there, and suddenly we stopped by McDonald's to get a coffee, and it was impossible to park. Like I didn't find any parking place. She had to leave the car, go order something. The drive-through was, super full. I had to just go around and then try to find a parking place, but it was full of families. It was really, really, really packed. So this is actually something that really works. Imagine you are with your kid, Irek, like on on a Saturday just before lunch, just thinking, hey, what are we doing next? How to continue spending the day, and then suddenly you get a notification, hey, you have this sort of family bundle that is going to be quite interesting for you. It also includes these toys for the kids, so yeah, maybe something to consider, right? So this doesn't only this actually helps increase the average order value, but at the same time, perhaps even the frequency that you're visiting the restaurant, right?
Absolutely. And this is actually a very cool concept. I haven't thought about that before, but now, as you've mentioned, the kids menu, like the Happy Meal, for example, so that could be really interesting if you used the app and you actually showed the available toys or any sort of, like, because it doesn't necessarily have to be toy. It needs to be something that might be appealing for kids. So obviously probably toys, but there might be some other options as well. And I think that if you have this opportunity to pick the toy yourself and make sure that it's going to be there waiting for you, that's another element of actually having the so-called omni-channel experience, right? But also have the link between the opportunity that the app gives and also the particular order that you like go for to the restaurant, like to pick up, right? So that's really cool concept. I think that it might be. I wonder, if there are any customer loyalty program designers who have already A/B tested this idea. I'm pretty sure that it. So, for example, if there are any members of the audience right now, if you have any experiences with this sort of like creating offers that will be appealing to the whole families, let us know. Because I'm really curious. I would like to see what is your experience here.
But now that we're talking about toys, that reminds me of a really great campaign organized by Burger King Spain. So obviously when we think about toys, we think about kids, right? But just imagine, like a brand bringing some sort of toys, but about something that reminds you of your childhood or your youth particularly, right? Or something that really is close to your heart. So I know that there are many how to say, fans of this series friends, right? So what Burger King did there was they launched these sort of toys of the Friends characters, basically. And it was like revolutionary. Basically, everybody was going to try to get them. It went viral quite quickly. And even these days, you can see those toys being resold online.
Okay, like the collectibles, right?
Yes, yes, yes. So that basically, helps you definitely increase the frequency of visits in this particular period of time, right?
Absolutely, and because if you have a set, right, there is a collection to pick. I mean, there is, let's say, 5 objects to collect, so automatically it becomes a challenge, right? So it is already gamified in a way. Cool. Yeah, and now when you've mentioned that, because I wasn't aware of the Burger King campaign, but recently in Poland, McDonald's did some sort of like a nostalgia fueled campaign that also offered. There was an issue of a newspaper that was popular back in the 90s, and now you could basically order like a meal, and then with this meal came like a retro newspaper that was basically like popular 25 years ago. So for definitely it wasn't aimed at kids. It was aimed at clearly people who remember the 90s and maybe early 2000s. But it was really successful, and also like this component of people being so excited about this that they would share it on social media, even like take their friends and visit the place. So awesome, and very creative. So for sure, this is something that we could experiment when designing those programs. The third challenge that we decided to go over was actually the new customer acquisition, which means that very often, if you think about those quick service restaurants, this is your own individual spontaneous decision. Okay, let me grab something to eat, and I'm probably on my way somewhere, right? So you not necessarily think about like bringing your friends before that. It is very often like something that you decide to do on the go. But this is how actually you could use the loyalty program in order to change that a bit, or maybe introduce a different experience. You have already mentioned kids, and basically making sure that you can create an offer that is basically appealing to the whole family, not only to parents, right, not only to kids, but actually to make sure that everyone gets something for themselves. So for example, if you go from like a typical family offer to family offer plus experience, meaning if there is a cool toy, or if there is something that is, let's say, related to the, I don't know, movie in the cinema, or maybe a book that is like very popular among kids right now. Yeah, so you can probably come up and experiment with not only the offer, the transaction, but also how to create an experience that would be fun for the whole family. And I believe that here, application especially, and maybe some gamified experiences could be awesome to do that. I'm thinking also about catching up with a friend. So sometimes you don't think about it, but maybe triggered by an app, you could suggest or reach out to one of your colleagues who is nearby, or like a friend who is working close, or maybe in the same office or in the same building, whatever. But basically, you could create some sort of experiences that allow people to plan a coffee together. It might be very short, right? It doesn't need to be like 2 hour long dinner, but it might be something like, hey, let's grab a coffee together. There is this, let's say, like a deal that if you do a coffee catch up this week, then we both get, let's say, 30% off our coffee. But for us, it's a cool context to meet and discuss something, right? Just to high five each other, perhaps. And still, for the company, is the opportunity to like quickly offer something. And one of the challenges that I was like thinking about was something that might be called, let's say, lunch buddies. So let's say that you are thinking about like, okay, where should we go to lunch? It's a Tuesday or a Wednesday, doesn't really matter. But then if you actually use the app to create some sort of experience that, hey, if you collect a team of 4 people, then you will unlock this like limited offer, especially for people who have decided to grab lunch at our place. And then it's a win-win because since there are like 4 people coming, so you will have like at least 4 orders. So this is the moment where you can definitely go for some extra points, and definitely you can go for discounts. So that's the sort of element I was thinking about when it comes to addressing the new customer acquisition challenge. Cool. Okay, so just to wrap up, I just also wanted to make sure that still this is the moment where if you have any questions to me or Christian, feel free to use the chat and ask them. I will make sure that we answer all of them. But when it comes to gamification, there is one element that I wanted to mention, that basically it's not about like choosing, like should we choose a discount or should we choose a gamified experience? It's actually to be smart about it and like use both, because what actually gamification does, like in real life, it just allows you to be a bit smarter about discounts, I would say. Because instead of like using a discount as the main message, like it's 15% off, so this is the reason for you to visit us, is actually, hey, let's do this cool fun thing together, or let's maybe like engage in certain ways, and then as a reward, as something that like acknowledgement, here is the reward that you've earned. So this is also a cool concept, I believe, that if you work towards something and then you get it, it's even more rewarding. So this is a cool aspect of gamification.
Yeah, and those awards, those prizes, I mean, those rewards, like are not going to be earned by everyone, right? So you want everybody to participate, to get engaged, but that doesn't mean that you are just, letting that money flow off your P&L, right? So if you offer some sort of spin the wheel after a purchase, then basically you are giving just a chance to somebody to earn something. It does it to get a reward. So that doesn't mean that you're going to give this away to everyone, right? But what we're doing is you're keeping everybody engaged.
Yes. And then, for example, you could allocate your budget in a different way. Let's say that you can invest in rewards that are more substantial. So there are like, that this is something I would really, let's say, like to get. That when I was mentioning Starbucks rewards, they do have like, not only the regular offer of drinks and something to eat, but also the merchandise. So perhaps you could allocate more budget towards the merch, and then using the spin the wheel as you've suggested, it will be quite cool because you still, let's say, have 10, 15, maybe 20% of people who are eligible for the reward, but everybody can participate and everyone gets a chance to win something. So this is truly engaging.
Yeah, or you have a challenge for everyone, right? Let's say, hey, it's summertime, we have some new beverages. We have 3 of them. So you have up to 2 months to like order 3 of them. And then once you order the 3 of them, you access to your favorite beverage. And it could be one of those 3 new beverages, or one that you already actually have had in your standard menu.
Oh, this is cool because this challenge is designed in a very smart way, because each customer gets to choose, like taste all of the offer first, and then based on their preference, you get the data on what beverage is actually the most popular, so you can improve on the offer, right? And people are pretty much engaged because they they are with you because they want to choose, try out everything that is available, and then they get to choose the ones that they particularly liked, and they get it for free. So I believe that it's a really strong incentive.
Yeah, or for instance, if you have some sort of a tiering system, which is something we haven't really talked too much, but I remember from the case that you had Starbucks, for instance, they had a tiering system, and in which I think it's the gold tier clients get access to free benefits. So, for instance, an extra shot for free, like different sort of those benefits, right? So imagine that you have any sort of challenge as well, like you should buy 10 coffees in the next 2 months, and then you will automatically be upgraded to gold tier for 1 month. So the next month you're actually consuming a place that you're currently often visiting, like the coffees that you really like, then you will have these additional benefits for 1 more month. It's not such a huge effort for you. Maybe you will have to go 1 or 2 more times, but anyways, it's something that you like, right? But then you get access to these additional benefits just for a short period of time, right?
Oh, that's a really good example of doing the combo. And then if you earn enough points, then you get this status tier that comes with those additional perks, right? So let's say that you have suddenly this regular 20% off. So when it comes to building a habit and basically choosing this particular restaurant, it is definitely a strong incentive. Because why shouldn't I be visiting regularly the place that offers me so much on a regular basis, for a month?
Yeah. Or for instance, a way to increase the average order value that just came to my mind, and I think one of their, sorry, I forgot about it. This is Burger King, as well. They introduced a campaign called "Have It Your Way," in which they ask clients to just, you know, add toppings basically like the way they want it, so they can build the best possible burger for them. And I'm pretty sure this is a really interesting challenge for burger lovers, right? So what I had to do is just share it on social, and then basically depending on the results that they will get from them, they could feature your burger for a week, right? And they could actually have it perhaps offered to clients for them to try what other burger lovers actually build.
Brilliant, because then exactly. So it's like with furniture from IKEA. When you build it yourself, then suddenly you have like more emotional connection to that. And here, as you've mentioned, if you can build or suggest building something that you would definitely like having, then you promote it, right? You are invested in it. And also when your community around you supports you and they enjoy the same thing, or and suddenly the brand introduces it as a part of the offer, that's a really strong connection between me as a customer and the business that is actually customer oriented. Cool. Awesome. Okay, so I believe that at this point, we have discussed quite a few different scenarios. We have definitely addressed the challenges that are, let's say, most common. So for all of you in the audience, if you have any questions to Christian at this moment, feel free to write them in. This is the time where we could answer them all. But anyways, still, if you feel that you would like to perhaps, discuss some elements of your ideas for a program design, or maybe you have been running a loyalty program, but you would like to improve it, or maybe you would like to iterate it. Maybe it's the gamification that you're especially interested in. So I just wanted to let you know that this video is just an introduction. This is the opportunity for us to, reach out and basically make sure that that if there is anything we could help you with, either building a program or rebuilding an existing one, we are happy to help. We have different loyalty experts on board. We obviously have a huge set of different use cases. So, if you feel that you would like to use our experience to bounce your ideas, we can't wait to be talking to you. So let us know. You can also reach out to us directly, on LinkedIn. So that was awesome. If there is anything else you would like to leave with the audience, Christian, now is the time.
No,
If
I mean,
not,
it's just like,
okay.
I think that every sort of vertical is quite specific, right? Some things work in one vertical, some others work in others. But anyways, loyalty is same across all industries, I will say, though the specifics change definitely. If there's any questions about QSR or even any other industries such as retail, I'm happy to answer them. Whatever comments you leave below, then basically I will make sure that they get answered.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And yeah, let's wrap it up. So thank you so much for joining us today, and see you soon at the next Loyalty Builders video. Cheers.
Take care. Cheers. Bye.